Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host, Myron. Today, finally, we are getting Hundo Head Honcho started. The series has finally kicked off. I can't wait to give you guys the E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof versus what I think are some great bottles. We've got 1792 bottled in bond. We've got very old Barton 100. We've got Remus number 2, which is one of my favorites. We've got Barton Origin Series, the Weeded 100, and then we've got Benchmark Bonded. So I want to get these poured up. Give me some time, let me get the table together, and I'll be right back. Now, the purpose of Hundo Head Honcho is to find the best 100 proof bottle on my bar. I'm only gonna do 6 at a time. I've got way more than 6. I've got way more than 20. I've got quite a few more than 30 bottles of 100 proof bottles on my bar. So I can't do all these at the same time. That would take forever, and I don't know if I'd be here at the end of that episode. So anyway, let's get these first 6 spun up because I want to know what they are. I want to know which one is going to be the best 100 proof of this episode that's going to move on and challenge the next 5 in line. And I think I got some great episodes and bottles coming up for you guys in the future, so stay tuned. Please, before we get started, just remember to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and remember to comment, because I love going back and forth with you guys in the comments. I love getting comments and answering to them, and then giving you guys suggestions, you guys giving me suggestions. So I've got quite a few videos that I will be dropping soon. I've got quite a few videos that I'll be shooting soon. I know I haven't done a hunt video in a while. Those seem to do the best. So I think it's about time that I do a hunt video. Anyway, let's get into glass number 1. Maybe a light cherry, oak. Maybe a slight spice. There's a nice caramel note, a nice brown sugar note. It's a little light on the palate. I wouldn't say watered down, but it is a little light on the palate. But it's a nice, like I said, cherry. There's a caramel note, little light on the palate. Let's go into glass 2. This smells a little richer. Now, 6 bottles might be a lot to keep up with, especially coming off the last episode that I did, Shane Solid Samples. If you haven't seen those, go check those out. Shout out to Shane. Thanks once again. Nice, light, sweet, sugary berry note in there. Maybe a light grapiness. A sweet cream, like a sweet vanilla. No sharp edges. A nice drying oak. Not too drying. A nice grapiness. A nice bit of a cherry too. This is oak. Spice vanilla. And that's pretty much it. That's actually really well rounded. It's really balanced. The cream is in there. There's a nice fruit note that comes across. The finish is about the same as the other 2. There is a little bit of char that I get that comes out of that glass. Glass number 4. It's a little strong, a little sharp on the nose. All right, so there was a bit of a citrus after the sharpness. It's a little lighter on the palate too. It stung a little bit in the back of the throat. I don't know if I swallowed that wrong or if that's maybe just not as refined, but let's go back in. I want to give it just a fair chance. It's a little light. It does offer some sweetness. It has some sharp notes, but those sharp notes aren't bad. They're not bad at all, but it's a little thin on the palate. The finish is almost non-existent. It seems like I'm picking up just a touch of honey. And I've told you guys this before, I do not like to clean in between blind pours because that water seems to sit on my tongue and water everything down. Now, can they influence each other? Yes. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. Hey, it's a blind. They fall where they fall. Let the cards fall where they may. Let's get into glass number 5. There's a dough note, a light sweet dough note, and almost a clay note on the nose. That's pretty much it. There is something that's in there that's sharp. And I said this on the last video, almost like a grapefruit. Now, where I think this one had a citrus, this one is more coming across citrus with grapefruit. And a sweet dough note and a clay note. That sweet dough note is, I like that. I like that when I get it at Makers. The nose is actually better than the palate. It is not the most refined product, we'll say that. It's got a little bit of spikiness to it, a little bit of spiciness to it. Not a long finish, but it's definitely drinkable. Definitely drinkable. Last Glen before I go backwards. Now, I will clean my palate before I go backwards. That's got a nice nose, really nice nose. It's got a really sweet, creamy vanilla nose. I'm picking up a little bit of cherry, a little bit of berry. And that's pretty much it. That's nice. I'm picking up a slight bit of nuttiness, but that's nice. That's very well rounded. That berry transfers over. That little bit of grape transfers over. I like that one. I like the nose on that one, and I like the palate on that one. So give me a second. Let me get some water. Let me clean the palate up, and we'll be right back. There are some that I like, and some that I am just, I'm like, okay, they're drinkable. There is no clear winner just yet. We are going to go from my left to my right, go in reverse so that I can see if I can pick anything different out, and then we'll start judging and grading. I'm starting to pick up a slight maple, and I didn't pick that up when I went from my right to my left. But it's not making me want to write home about it. It's not like it's, wow, blowing me away. And at the end of this one, I was kind of like leaning towards this one. So go back in, second sip. I'm starting to pick up a little more cinnamon out of this one. Little cinnamon, like a slight graham cracker. Glass number 3 has a sour smell now. It's wild how they change when you go from one direction back to the other. But then underneath of that is a little bit of cream. Maybe a slight hint of a banana. And I didn't pick that up on any of these coming from my right to my left. This one has actually turned into like a medicinal cherry. Almost that It's in between. It's almost the cherries that you have sitting in the syrup in a jar and the cherries in like a NyQuil. The cherries transfer over. It's coming off a little thin though. It doesn't have that richness that these two have. It doesn't have the sharpness that this one has. There is a very sweet maple syrup caramel nose. Man, I love this. You got to go this way and then this way. Maple syrup vanilla all day long. I hope it transfers over. That's nice. That's nice. That is caramel, grape. I would actually, if that is my number one and that is my number two, and this is my number three, these two have to tie. This one has that sweet, creamy dough note that I love, that glazed donut. That is a nice nose. Wow. Wow. That one may have moved into number two, man. Give me some time. Give me some time. I am ready to rank these. Glass 6 takes first place. Glass 1 takes second place. Glass 2 takes third place. Glass 5 takes fourth place. Glass 3 takes fifth place. Glass 6 takes last place. Let's find out what these are. Glass B, no. First place. Let's go back. Glass F takes first place. Wow! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! First place goes to Benchmark. Bonded. Glass B, $17.92 bottled in bond. Glass 3 in third place goes to A. E.H. Taylor bonded. I did not see that coming. I can't believe these are my top three. Wow. That shocks the heck out of me. Okay, glass 4. E. Bardstown Origin Series. You can't make this up, man. Glass C coming in fifth place. Very old Barton. And oh my gosh, one of my favorites. This has been open for a while, but when I first got the Remus 2, oh my gosh, it was one of the best 100 proof bottles that I had ever had. This is shocking me, man. This is, oh my gosh. Let me take a break and get these on camera how they come across to you. I am honestly at a loss for words. I thought that this was going to come in number 2 or number 1. And the reason why I say number 2 is because Remus number 2 has always been a favorite of mine. I don't know if it's because so much is gone out of the bottle, but it just didn't perform well tonight, man. So, you know, that's why you have to kind of take this with a grain of salt, because on any given, it's like the NFL. These are all major players. On any given Sunday, on any given day, one can knock out the other. I'm floored, man. I don't know what to say. So by benchmark moving on to the next round, wow. I've got to get the bottles together. So with that being said, let the whiskey flow, never run out unless you head to a drop. Till next time.